Welcome to Programming in Your Hands Part 10. Today we'll be seeing about classes and objects. C++ objects as physical objects, C++ objects as data types, and objects as function arguments. Yeah. So when I say that physical objects, we can take maybe a laptop, its model number, part number, and some member functions which we say as get data and display data. And the data members, we consider it as model number, part number, cost, and the class name to be laptop while writing a program. So in that case, we say that it acts as physical objects. Okay. So now this is a simple program with data members, model number and part number. And I have two functions here, void get data and void display data. These both act as member functions because they represent the class. And what's my class name? It's laptop. So now the class name is laptop. My compiler always comes to int main first, and the class name is laptop. We have an object obj, and it comes to the next line, obj.getData. When it sees this function, it automatically jumps to get data and it enters in, it sees cout, enter the model number and part number, where it will be displayed in my output screen, enter the model number and part number. So I am typing 56 because there is a keyword which is cin, so which means the user has to type. So I am typing 56. Why am I typing 56? Because my MNO is an integer. Okay. Now cout endl, which means it comes to the next line. Now I've asked again cin. So now a cursor will be blinking. And PNO, what is PNO? It is at another integer. So I'm typing 78. Okay. Now it sees the closing bracket. It jumps to the next line, obj.displayData. Now it switches over to display data, and I have a cout. I have double quotes, which means it prints on the screen the model number and part number are, and I am telling it to display MNO. What was my MNO? Yes, 56. Now endl, it comes to the next line. I am telling it to print PNO. What was my PNO? Yes, 78. So that 78 will be displayed. So this is a normal classes and objects program which represents some physical objects. Maybe a laptop. In this case it is a laptop. You can access or write a program related to mobile phone, any physical object. Okay. And now C++ objects as data types and C++ objects as function arguments. Now in this case we are going to see about creating a class named distance and the data members to be feet and inches. It's a very important and a common program which everyone need to know. And the member functions, we have input distance, output distance, and what we are going to do is we are going to add two objects. You can have a question, can we add two objects? Definitely we can add two objects and put it in another object, which means the object's data can be added together and put it up in another object's data. Okay, we'll see how to write a program now. Now, this is a program where my compiler always comes first to my int main. So it has come to my int main now. And what are its data members? We have feet and inches, which is described in the access specifier called private. Okay. So now I have in my main program the first line is distance. What is distance? Yes, it is going to be by class name. Okay. Now this class name, whatever is nearby the class name will act as my objects. So I have three objects here, D1, D2, D3. Okay. So now I have separate memory spaces allotted for D1, allotted for D2, allotted for D3. And now what I have done is I have two member functions, three member functions here. One is set distance, one is get distance, the other one is add. Okay. Now, what have I done here? I am calling d1 dot set distance. So I am calling the function which is named set distance for d1. Okay. So now it automatically switches to set distance. And now there you have enter feet. So now enter feet is displayed in the output screen. See in feet. So I am typing 3. Why? Because feet and inches are an integer. And now see out enter inches. So enter inches. Now I am typing the value for inches 8. Now these both are for which object? Yes, it is for D1. That you should remember. Now coming to the next line of the main program, because here it gets over, the function gets over, so it switches directly to the next line of the main program. Now d2 dot set distance. Again I am calling the same function, but for which object? That is very important. It is for d2. Earlier I was calling it for d1. Now I am calling the same function for d2. Now enter feet. 4. I have typed 4. Enter inches. I have typed 9. But for which object? d2. Okay. Now d3 dot add. There are two arguments inside. Okay. So these are functions with arguments. So now d1 and d2 are objects. So what have I done here? This is d3. So now what it does here is it automatically goes to the function which is named as add, and I'm calling it with an object called d3. And all the d3's data I can access directly. Feet can be accessed directly as feet. Inches can be directly accessed as inches. Now here I have used d1 and d2, two arguments. So similarly in add I have two arguments here, and here you can see a class name. This is the return type of this particular object d1, and you have distance d2. Now this d1 will be equal to this d1. What do I mean by that? Yes, feet equal to 3, inches equal to 8, which are the members of d1, now is equal to this particular d1. And d2, this particular d2, the second argument in the main program, is nothing but this d2. What is there in d2 now? Yes, in d2 we have another feet and inches, which is 4 and 9. Okay. So now when it sees this particular line, it automatically jumps over here. And now why we have mentioned it as feet? Because d3 can be accessed directly, because I am calling from d3. So now d3's data can be accessed directly. So feet can be accessed as feet, inches can be accessed as inches. But how do I access d1's feet? d1 dot feet, d2 dot feet, d1 dot inches, d2 dot inches. I need not access it as d3 dot feet. Why? Because I am calling with d3. So now feet is equal to d1 dot feet plus d2 dot feet. I have not used d3 dot feet because I am there. I am accessing it directly. Now next, inches equal to d1 dot inches plus d2 dot inches. Now there is a calculation. All of you know that 12 inches equals 1 foot. So now feet equal to feet plus inches by 12, and inches equal to inches percentage 12. So now after seeing this closing bracket, it jumps to the next line. Now it sees d3 dot get distance. It is not d1 or d2. It is instead d3 dot get distance. Now it automatically jumps to get distance function, but for which object? d3. Okay, so fine. So now it comes to get distance. Now see out distance in feet. Distance in feet equal to, what was my feet value? I have added feet 3 plus 4, 7. But how come it is 8? because there is a calculation over here. Feet equals feet plus inches by 12. So what is my inches actually? 8 plus 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. Okay. So 17 is my inches by 12. So now plus 1 will be automatically added to feet. That is why we have 8 over here. And the remainder is going to be 5. So that will be in inches. 17 by 12 and the remainder is going to be 5. So now that will be my inches value. So inches is equal to 5 now. So this is a logic in calculating inches and feet. And we have now distance in feet and inches, which is 8 and 5, and this is for D3. Hope you are able to grasp these things. So this can be written for the topic objects as function arguments, or just functions with arguments, anything. So all the best and hope you are able to understand. Thank you. Thanks for watching.